back to buttercream. Okay, so I'm going to make my version of a Swiss meringue buttercream, a Swiss-ish buttercream. So if you watch the video on Swiss meringue, you will see that we dissolve our sugar into our egg whites. So I'm going to skip that step, and instead of using granulated sugar, we're going to use powdered sugar, because the powdered sugar will dissolve in the egg whites with no heat. So that takes out a big step. And you're gonna love this recipe because there's barely any measuring involved. Okay, I've adapted it so that you can just pour things right from the bag, pour things right from the container, open up your butter and go. Okay, so I have here, I'm in Canada, so I have a 1 kilo bag of powdered sugar that I'm going to pour into my bowl. In the US, you guys have 2-pound bags. There are 2.2 pounds in a kilo. That 0.2 pounds isn't going to make a difference in the recipe at all. I've tested it both ways. So just open up your 2-pound bag of sugar and pop it in your bowl. Easy peasy. Okay? To that, I'm going to add my egg whites. It is 1 cup of egg whites, or one of those small containers of pasteurized egg whites that you get at the grocery store. This is a 2-cup container. So you can just kind of eyeball and feel, have I used about half? This recipe is that user-friendly. Or you can measure, or just buy the smaller containers. The reason why I'm using pasteurized egg whites over cracking eggs and using fresh eggs is because even though eggs are pretty safe now, you want to avoid the chance of salmonella or getting anyone sick. So pasteurized egg whites are super safe to eat raw, because we aren't cooking the eggs. We aren't heating them up over the stove to melt that sugar. So pasteurized egg whites for this recipe for sure. Okay, guys? So I'm going to add my 1 cup of egg white to my powdered sugar, and I'm going to put it on the mixer just to kind of incorporate the two together. So 30 seconds of mixing, not much. Okay. And I'm using the whip attachment. I'm going to turn this on low at first because we don't want a big shower of powdered sugar everywhere. So I'm just mixing this until it's incorporated. That's how sometimes I get the sugar down in my bowl instead of scraping. I tap it. I'm so lazy. Okay, that's pretty much incorporated. I don't have my spatula here. I'm just going to use my metal spatula just to get some of the sugar back down into the bowl. Normally, I wouldn't even bother. That's how efficient I am. Lazy. So that's good enough. I'm just going to show you. It's a very liquid. There we go. It's very liquid and ribbony. It's sort of a light beige color. And to this, we're just going to dump all our butter in, all at once. And that's it. We're just going to let it whip. So even though I love Italian meringue buttercream, and I love Swiss meringue buttercream, this is my go-to buttercream because it's fast. So you can see I'm putting a ton of butter in here, 3.5 pounds or 14 sticks. That's a lot of butter, but this is going to completely fill our bowl. This is enough buttercream to make a 4-tier wedding cake, plus maybe a little birthday cake on the side too. You can store, because this does make a lot, you can easily store it in the refrigerator for about a week, and you can freeze it for up to a month. When you thaw it out, just take it out, put it in the refrigerator, let it come to temperature in the refrigerator, and then bring it out to room temperature until it softens, give it another whip, and you're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to put this back on my mixer. Oh, it weighs a ton. It's so much buttercream. And that said, this is a big recipe. You can double or triple the Italian meringue recipe or the Swiss meringue recipe too, if you need more, because those recipes aren't large enough to do a wedding cake. Okay, I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna start low and slow. I'm gonna add, I have here 2 to 3 tablespoons of clear vanilla. Let me shut this off a sec. 2 to 3 tablespoons of clear vanilla. Again, I love the clear vanilla because it helps to keep my icing nice and white. Feel free to use dark vanilla, that is just fine. So I'm gonna add this, and this is a lot of vanilla, but it's a lot of buttercream. Okay, so 2 to 3 tablespoons, depending on how vanilla-y you want it. Okay, so I'm gonna pour that in. Once the vanilla gets incorporated in with the butter a little bit, I'm going to turn it up to about medium speed and just let it go. And we'll probably let it mix for about 7 to 10 minutes. If your butter's on the cooler side, you might even have to go to 15 minutes. But don't worry so much about time. Don't worry so much about time. You want to look for a really white, fluffy buttercream. Okay, that's when it's done. Not, oh, 7 minutes is up, but your buttercream still looks very yellow. It's not ready. So just let it go until it's light and fluffy and white. Okay, we're done. Let's take this off the mixer and look at our beautiful Swiss-ish buttercream. This one is a little more yellow than the Swiss meringue or the Italian meringue, just because there is a little bit more butter in this recipe over the others, but it's still very beautiful. It's fairly white and it's nice and smooth. And like I said, it's a huge bowl. You'll be able to ice a lot of cakes with this. And again, really beautiful, smooth. If you want to get rid of the last little bit of air bubbles that are in here that are created by the whisk, just use the paddle attachment for about 30 seconds to a minute, and it'll break up all those air bubbles and you'll have perfectly beautiful silky buttercream. Be sure to watch our other videos. We also have an American buttercream video, a Swiss meringue, and an Italian meringue buttercream. And be sure to like us on Facebook. Jump on the internet and go to learntocake.com to watch our videos. We have great blogs, just a ton of stuff. So many things, not just cake either. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks, guys.